Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell Podcast. Casey Campbell with you. Of course, we're pleased to be joined by the driver of the number 34 Loves Travel Stops Ford for Front Row Motorsports, Michael McDowell. How's it going?
It's going well. How are you, Casey?
Doing well. What a run that you guys have been on so far in the last few weeks. The 34 team has really gotten together. Of course, you, Blake, the rest of the team, the pit crew, the road crew, you guys have really been putting some solid runs together. And a third place finish at Sonoma this past weekend, a road course, which is your specialty. What was that like? How the past few weeks have been, and recap Sonoma?
Yeah, it's been fun. Like you said, we're starting to build, momentum, and more so than that, we're just unloading with fast cars and being, more competitive and closer to that top 10. And, I think more, to me, it's less fluky, right? Like where everything just goes right and you happen to squeeze out a top 10. Like we're qualifying there, we're practicing there, we're racing there, we're staying there. And so, momentum wise, it's been fun. We've been having a good couple months here and bringing fast race cars to the racetrack. And so, going to Sonoma with all that momentum kind of built up, knowing that road courses have been, something that our strength, I think was, we kind of anticipated that it would be a good weekend. And you always are hopeful, but, I would say in years past where we maybe consistently have run 20th or 25th everywhere else and then go to a road course and run 10th, it's hard to make up that gap. But when we're running 10th everywhere else and we have that speed and we have that level of what we need going to a road course, we do feel like we can contend for wins. And so we weren't quite there at Sonoma. I think that we were really close. We had a top 5 car all weekend, qualified top 5. Pretty much stayed there all race. Just needed a little bit more to be, able to challenge for the win. But at the same time, that's the best weekend that we've ever had at Front Row Motorsports from start to finish, as far as just being outright competitive and outright speed. And so I'm proud of what we're doing and proud of what we're building. And, that gives us a lot of confidence going to Nashville, but probably more importantly, Road America, just knowing that, okay, we've locked in a little bit on this road course program. We have a better idea with this new car of what we need and what worked and what didn't work. And hopefully that we'll keep building that, going to Road America and have a shot at winning the race. And but proud of everybody. We've all dug really hard here at Front Row to figure out this new car. And Blake Harrison and the guys have done a really good job of just every week we're just getting a little bit better and a little bit better.
Talk about Blake for a second. I know that we talked to you in the beginning of the season. That was when Blake was just hired. And now going into this season, we're 16 races into the year. What do you think Blake has done with this race team?
Yeah, he's done a great job. I think that, the off season was difficult for us building, a brand new fleet of race cars and all the struggles that came with that for every team, not just ours. Yeah. With parts and pieces and processes. And then, obviously having to find a crew chief and a car chief and a lot of people in the off season for us was difficult. So, I think that Blake has done a great job of really helping us not only get our program better, but, for me more than anything was, not losing a beat, right? Like last year we had a good year. We won the 500, had, solid runs, and then a good portion of that group has dissolved and you're like, oh man, you got to start over. And, it hasn't been a start over. Blake's just done a great job of leading the group and, and getting our race cars to where they need to be. And, it takes time. Him and I are still figuring each other out, and we have a good relationship, but we're still figuring out, at what level I need a change and the importance of it and direction and all these things. So I think just the last 4 or 5 weeks, we've just kind of put together that rhythm of, being able to correlate what I'm saying versus what I need and all those things. So it's coming together well.
Really, since Bristol Dirt, you guys have really when the change happened from 9th at Bristol Dirt, 8th at Talladega, and then you guys started rolling off some pretty good finishes in the last few weeks. I know not every finish was perfect, but going into this stretch of races, this performance has really been heating up for you guys. Just with the 34 team, is Todd's picking up on it as well, I think.
Yeah, I think that you're right. It's just slowly getting better and better and better and better. And every week we're just getting a tick better. You know, and I mean, for me, I'm having a career season, right? This is the best I've ever ran. And I feel for Todd a little bit because he's doing a great job and he is actually getting really good finishes. And I think he's done, you know, an excellent job, especially as a rookie with a new car and all the things. And so we're having such a stellar year. I think that, you know, not everybody's getting an opportunity to notice what a good job he's done and where he's been running and how well he's been doing. So, you know, but his time's coming. We're building fast race cars. That's getting better and better every week for both of us. And I think that, you know, the future's really bright here at Front Row right now. And that's what it's all about. It's just keeping that moving and keeping it going.
Yeah. I mean, really with you guys and also the truck, with Zane has really gotten up there. And then speaking of that, he made his Cup debut a few weeks ago. How much does Zane go to you for advice on certain things?
Yeah, you know, I talk to Zane quite often, you know, definitely a lot before Gateway when he made his debut there with, you know, Roush Fenwick, Keselowski. You know, I just tried to help him as much as I could with how different these cars are and what to expect and, you know, as much as you can without driving it, right? Until you drive it, you don't know. But the truck program's been great. I mean, really, it's been awesome to watch and see them have so much success. And, you know, I talked to Zane a little bit before Sonoma. Obviously, the trucks haven't been to Sonoma in a long time. And so he was picking my brain on, you know, what to look for, what you fight, what you got to focus on. And that is nice. You know, we have a lot of depth here at Front Row. We got a lot of guys with a lot of experience on the Cup side. And that I think helps the truck team a tremendous amount, you know, and, you know, Chris and his guys on that truck team have just been killing it. I mean, they really have a good program and it's fun to see them be, you know, championship contenders and hopefully they can keep that momentum, you know, rolling here as they get closer to their playoffs.
Yeah, for sure. Going into with this season, what has it been like with this car and trying to figure out all its nuances?
Yeah, a lot to learn in a very short period of time. And we're learning so much every weekend. For me personally, it's been the driving part of it has come really easy. It's fit my style well. You know, the car is very comfortable for me as far as how it feels and even how it fits. You know, it just, for me, this car is way more comfortable than the previous car. And so it's been, and for myself, just jumping in and going, that part's been easy. But all the history that you have of knowing what you need setup wise and change wise and what you need to feel, you know, at the end of practice to be good in the race, all that, I wouldn't say it's gone completely, but a lot of that has changed. And so this car is so different that you almost have to kind of reset some of those sensors and not throw it all the way out the window because experience helps, but at least have an open mind of how you're going to approach it.
Absolutely. So we're going from, this is the one and only off weekend of the season. We're going, and then we go to Nashville next week. How excited are you about Nashville and the next couple tracks you got coming up with, you know, with Road America, going to Atlanta again, and then we got New Hampshire, Pocono down the road. We got some good tracks coming up for you.
Yeah, we do. Nashville was solid for us last year. I enjoyed the racetrack. I think where we've been strong this year with this next gen car, we should be strong at Nashville again. And then Road America is my favorite. I mean, it's my favorite road course. It's where I got my first Xfinity win. It's where I got my first Xfinity pole. You know, it's my best track. And so I know that. And, you know, Sonoma really hasn't been my best track. And so for us to have a solid finish there and be a top 5 car, I'm looking forward to getting the Road America and looking forward to, you know, trying to get this 34 team in the playoffs.
Yeah. Also, this is the off week. Of course, you're spending it in the office. I know you got 4 kids running around as well. I think your PR guy told me that your son is actually at the office with you, entertaining with some iRacing right now. So how are you spending the off week?
Yeah, we're just doing a staycation here. We travel enough, so we're just staying home, getting caught up on autographs and interviews, and just trying to get my ducks in a row while I have some time before the next few weeks get crazy.
Yeah, for sure. And of course, with Nashville, kind of preview that for a second. What makes Nashville a very unique track in its own way?
I think that, the fact that it's concrete is a big part of it, right? So different surface than we typically race on. Also, it's not a mile and a half, but it has that mile and a half feel to it. Big, fast. Both ends are very different. It's a fun racetrack, and shape wise, it kind of reminds me of like a small Kansas. It kind of feels like that. But racing wise, that you're out of the gas, you're on the brakes, probably even going to make a downshift in this next gen car, which is pretty crazy. So just, it's going to be a lot of fun. And, I feel like these tracks like St. Louis and Nashville, and they're more fun this year than they have, maybe in the past, because this car allows you or requires you to do a little bit more. So it's been fun.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Michael McDowell, thank you so much for coming with us, and good luck this next week at Nashville.
Thank you. See you, Casey.